Now that I've got a compositional sketch, where the horizon line is, where some of those major cloud shapes are, I'm thinking about how one dark value is going to connect to another to create a sense of visual movement throughout the painting. Now I can just bring more information into the painting by matching and looking at some of those local colors of the scene. Because the casein dries quickly, managing the dry time with a little spritz of water throughout the painting session is incredibly important. To get to the kind of deep, cool grays in the underbellies of those clouds, I'm mixing a little quinacridone red and phthalo green together. Makes a really beautiful kind of muted violet and or muted blue, depending on how much of the red or the green is in the mix. The paint is fairly loosened up at this point. It's not anywhere near that kind of wash-like quality of that I started out with. It's not dripping off of the brush, but it has been loosened up quite a bit just to encourage a bit more flow off of the brush and onto the painting. As I start applying more and more color onto the scene, I'm really thinking about the subject matter, not in terms of those objects that I know the names of, but just thinking about them in terms of shape. And those shapes are ultimately containers for the color and the values that I'm perceiving. So thinking about the roundness and the form of those large cumulus clouds, thinking about the positive and negative shapes of the areas of land. Are they more spherical in nature? Are they more cone-like in nature? What is their inherent value or lightness or darkness compared to the shapes around them? Thinking about perceiving the landscape through the eyes of a painter puts more of that focus on shape and relationships of color rather than naming those things that we have names for. Clouds, trees, water, grasses, all of those elements of the landscape that we know of and we can call out by their name, but thinking about them more in terms of their shape relationships really puts us into thinking about what is at service of the painting rather than its mere description or reporting of those elements that we see out in nature. Painting in the Pacific Northwest, I get a lot of practice and time to contemplate clouds and dramatic skies. And one of the things that I've really paid attention to through painting skies is not just the difference of light and dark, that they're not just light and dark grays, but they have quite a bit of value change as well, and temperature change as well. Going from the cool kind of underbellies of the clouds to the warm highlights on top of it.